Hello, everyone.
Okay, so
Dr. Joseph
nice.
H. Patino here with my friend Leonard. I'm a Reiki master, spiritual teacher, author, musician, and I am available on Amazon under Joseph H. Vertino, the same name on the screen here. If you type that in without the doctor part on Amazon.com, you'll get my 3 books. One of them is the Reiki Bible, A Guide to Reiki Living, which has my picture on it, and you'll recognize me from here. And then I'm also on SoundCloud, which is music, under Joe HV, capital J, lowercase OE, space, capital HV, on SoundCloud.com. And then also, what else? I have my YouTubes, Joe Vertino, Joseph Vertino, and yeah. So anyways, our topic today is science and its use for ordinary human beings. And if you see another video on there, I apologize for that other video. That was only 7 minutes or so. That video wasn't supposed to be posted. But yeah, so hopefully Leonard will come back in. But anyways, let's start. So I guess science is a fundamental, I could say has a fundamental relationship with humanity. And in that way, understanding that our full topic, so science and its use for ordinary human beings. And I guess if you want the spiritual, what's that called, insight for today's video, would basically be promoting growth in the form of gratefulness. So the 5 Reiki principles, the first one is just for today, I will not worry. The second one is just for today, I'll not be angry. The third one is just for today, I'll do my work honestly.
All right, Joe.
Hey, you're back. And then the fourth one is just for today, I will be grateful. And then the fifth one is just for today, I'll be kind to all living beings. So gratefulness being the spiritual exercise in that, or not exercise, the spiritual kind of angle in context. So if you notice parts of yourself struggling with gratefulness in context of science, that's a great reason to watch this video. Hey, Leonard.
Hey, sorry about that. I was just trying to load the page. Okay.
Yeah, so anything, do you want to start, Leonard, with some talking? I mentioned a little bit about science, but go ahead. Science and its use for ordinary human beings is our topic.
Okay. Hang on one second, right? Just 1 second.
So anyways, while we're waiting for Leonard to get situated, so science, the perspective that I have of science in that way, and I am not, now this is the interesting thing, we know that there's different levels in the sense of not just career, so to speak, but it is career in that way, but Dharma, which is means your purpose for your lifetime in Buddhism. So in science, obviously that's very clear. We have different levels and then also different fields. For example, chemistry, astronomy, medicine, I guess we could also say medical science, are all different fields, and there's levels within those fields in science. And then basically, now if we understand, we can get this point going in the sense of understanding and gratefulness, in the sense that what we have because of science, without any of the people, that you don't have to be in the field or any of those levels in order to have the benefits of the work, their honest work. So in that way, and you understand that you don't have to go into the details of their work to follow your highest excitement in that way, right? So that's the thing. And if you understand, I guess we could say, relating to the chakras, the root chakra, which we all have, it's an objective truth. We all have the chakras. And the root chakra at the base of the spine has to do with survival and science. I mean, obviously, hugely important for humanity's survival and evolution in that way. Um, I mean, if you think of, I guess what living on the earth was like and still is, obviously, um, another objective truth, so to speak, is, putting yourself, I mean, if you think of going camping, and in context and comparison, of basically that, like living, uh, uh, I guess your proof that we could say science in that way is a necessity for humanity's survival. If we think of people that lived on the earth before we had what we have as contemporary scientific expansion, you have, I guess you could say, those people. I mean, I think of being here in the land that I'm on in northeastern United States, that it's the Native American territory, and the word that I know of as Native American is Iroquois, and then I think it's 7 or 9 distinct different tribes that's under so that being Iroquois of this region. I mean, I'm not professional in that field, but I share what I know, obviously, to educate. So if we understand that was a real thing that went on, hundreds, I don't know, I'm not historian, like I said, hundreds in the past, and then the scientific expansion in that way of in context. So in the first video, I talked about culture, and if you go back and look on the YouTube spiritual discussion 1, and then I think it's title list, but it's about culture basically. And I mentioned Native American people then, and the environment that is necessary for culture to occur in that way, and how science comes about, you could say, in context of that. So you think of tools. I mean, if you think of using tools in a way, I mean, I guess you could say that's a basis of science in that way. But if we take a more kind of direct look at science, empirically speaking, you have the ability, intelligence level where you can collect data, so to speak, and then you can come to a rational conclusion that is proven physically or empirically, experientially, right? So that's the basis of science. That's really the whole thing, right? So then I feel like that would be a remedy to the person that's bored with science, so to speak, because they have an over detailed and smaller window in their mind of science. So if you go with that, the ability to collect data and then come to a rational hypotheses, and obviously you're aiming for the actual truth and conclusion that's rational and in alignment with, I mean, obviously your highest excitement in that way. There's many facets to that of why that's your highest excitement, and it's not just about survival, right? It's about thriving, right? And then joy. So, and I think that's an important point to make, and it's ordinary use for human beings if you understand the actual perspective of science that I just presented to you, right? So the whole thing is the collection of data and the natural arising hypotheses, right, which is your kind of theory, so to speak, projected, because you're the one collecting the data and having that distinct perspective. 1 second. You okay? Oh, I tell you, I'm making a video right now. Yeah, feel free to come in. I'm just in the middle of the video. Maybe I won't make the video very long. It's okay.
Not just say, get it, Joseph, please. Say, cut me off, Matthew.
All right, well, they'll come in when they're ready. I'm making a video with my friend. My friends just showed up because it's Thanksgiving, I guess, and they felt like coming over. But I don't know. I mean, we're already 10 minutes. Leonard, do you have anything you want to say more? Feel free to sit.
Okay. Do you want to include your friends in the video? They can also comment the understanding of science if they want.
Yeah. So we're talking. Hi. Feel free to introduce yourself if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to.
She's welcome to join the discussion.
Yeah, so this is my friend Leonard. He's my friend, and we're doing some talking together and stuff. But yeah, so we're talking about science and its use for ordinary human beings. And I gave kind of a brief but very clear perspective on science. And I think the thing that we get a lot with science is it with students and we could say like the age group of like teenagers, right? We could say like preteens, where you're getting exposed to science in a way that you could start applying it on a serious level. So in that age range, it's a very kind of real, I would say, at least in my personal world, also I could say for sure, in my personal experience, something that happens when you encounter science, you understand that it's a very serious thing and that it's very real, and that's something that happens. And some teenagers, or whatever age range, preteens, teenagers, high school, going into developing as an individual, that's also a very serious and real thing that's inevitable in that way, unlike having to be a scientist, so to speak. And then obviously if we have the perspective of the projection to the future and whatever that includes for that person, and I pray that's a good experience. But that's where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. If people are exposed to science and they want to make a job out of it, or they are something happens where they start going into their own scientist nature, so to speak, or they go home and their parents have toys and they start experimenting. Hey, buddy, with all kinds of different things and stuff. Shh. I'm doing a video. Hi, I'm doing a video, a spiritual video, but. If you want to take
welcome, is that your other friend?
A little bit, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
They're all welcome to join.
Yeah,
they can put input as well.
We can make this a shorter video, but feel free to share. Yeah, go ahead. Anything. I mean, so my main point with that is basically understanding that I guess in context of the developing mind in psychology is basically that science being it's a necessity obviously in that way, but then it's a relief to people who, because of the realness of it and the applicability, the application of it, it becomes a foundational sustenance, and then it takes the relief out of. There's a relief in that for everybody, right? Which is the ordinary use for human beings in that way, where we don't have to understand science in order to enjoy the benefits of it in that way. But yeah, anything you want to say about that?
Okay, so you mentioned
the whole thing.
You mentioned about science. So there's different types of science, or different disciplines in science. So you mentioned experimental science, which is one discipline. So you have observational science, and then you have experimental science. So sometimes it goes together, because first you observe certain things, like what you said, chemistry, biology. You observe these certain things, you come to a conclusion, and you start experimenting. So where experimental science comes in is your basic cures for your ailments Like if you have a certain influenza or viral infection in the air, your nose is then stuffy or leaking, or your throat is paining, you need some medication. So where science comes in now, it observes this infection, number one.
Yes.
It observes the infection, number two, so that the scientist then or the doctor observes it. Number one, that's why you have a consultation with a doctor. You go and see a doctor, or you go and see a nurse or a clinic. That's where observational science comes in, step one. Step two is the experimental science, where he will give you certain antibiotics. Now, depending on the seriousness of the virus, could be a weak virus, could be a strong one. So he'll give you a antibiotic, a basic antibiotic for a weak virus. So if it's a stronger one, you tell him I'm still not better. He then gives you a stronger dose or a different kind of antibiotic to then fight off that viral infection. So that's just your basic science now. And then you have science then makes way for medicine. So without science as a basic foundation, you will not have medicine. You will not have medical help without science. Now, when we're talking about the time before science or before medicine, you get a simple viral infection, you would then wait to die. You know, that's like a Neanderthal kind of way, where you don't have any science, you don't have any medication, you don't have any medicine, you just get sick, you wait to die. So where we have advanced now, we don't get sick and wait to die. We
Yes.
now get sick and we get it cured. Right?
Yes.
So what I know about a virus, what I've been told, is that it doesn't die. It's in your body. The antibiotics just suppress it. Right? So basically, the virus will always be in your body from day one. If you got a viral infection, it's not going to go out. Not like people think, oh, it's defeated, destroyed, or it goes out. No, it's still there, but it's like a dormant volcano. It's what we call, if you have cancer, it's like cancer in remission kind of thing. It's where the virus is in remission until it pops up for some reason, something activates it, maybe another virus that comes or something activates it again, and then you're obviously using antibiotics. Go to a doctor, you use antibiotics.
Yes. I mean,
Similar
all
one
that,
is
yes.
okay.
All that's very
Can
good.
I carry on explaining?
Well, I mean,
Can I carry on?
how about this? Is there a link that you have to a I guess spiritual? Is there a spiritual connection you have? I mean, thank you for sharing obviously your knowledge of science, and you mentioned different things and stuff. But I'm interested in if there maybe your opinion on. I mean, spirituality and science isn't the exact topic we're on, but I'm interested if there's an aspect that you have or perspective that you have in context of it being what you already asserted, that science in context of spirituality
And religion, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, from your point of view, since you are a spiritualist, you're not a religious person. You don't ascribe to a certain system. I know you don't ascribe to a certain system of religion, like Christianity or Islam or so forth. So as a spiritualist now, you're now on a search to prove the existence of God. Now, what can help you, or you're on a search to prove invisible beings like your spirit, your soul, like for example, guides, spiritual guides like angels. You've also spoke about the ascended masters, right? So now you are looking for it's your search to prove their existence. That's what you basically want to do. You want to awaken people to their existence or to prove it, right? So science now can help you to a certain extent. It can help you to a certain extent. Now the question is, will we advance to the point where we can get scientific instruments to measure, for example, like you say, the soul and the spirit? Will it be possible to advance to that state where we can actually measure that, because at the moment we can measure invisible things like radioactive waves. They're invisible, right? But you can measure it. You can determine it. You can measure it. Maybe you cannot observe it. You cannot see it because it's invisible, right? Radioactive wave. Another example is wind. Wind or oxygen, right? Oxygen is like an invisible thing. You breathe it in, right? You breathe in oxygen, but you cannot see it.
You have to go? Why? Why?
No. Espérate, vamos a esperar lo que ya va a terminar.
So
I mean, we
I
don't
was
have,
hoping that Patrick was joining us live. It looks like he's not online.
well, yeah, no. I mean, how long? Well, how much? Give me a time frame, and then I'll end the video there, so you stay. I just happen.
And you are celebrating Thanksgiving.
No, it's not. I want you to.
So first of all, Joe,
Are you gonna stay? Can you stay? Well, then I'll turn it off. I'll make it another time then.
Joe, I like to say goodbye now because you're busy. I like to say goodbye. So
Can you stay, please? Is she staying?
Mami, ¿qué dice? Okay.
Is she
Joe?
No, she dice que ella viene acá.
What?
She come acá.
She's coming back. Okay. Do you want to? Are you staying?
Yeah.
Is she going in her car? Okay. Oh yeah, you stay.
You,
You stay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can you shut that for me?
Okay.
So we'll figure it out. I can give you a right back, or she'll come back. Yeah. But I at least want to hang out with you. Huh. She's staying? Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Anyways, well, I mean,
Okay, Joe.
yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
I'll say goodbye now because I can see you busy.
Okay. Well, anyways,
So,
let's do just a few.
First of all,
I guess.
I'd like to say thanks to your parents, because without your parents, you would not exist. So I would like to give thanks to your parents and the parents of your friends, their creators, their original creators, and their gods, first of all, their first rulers, their nurturers, the ones that actually brought them into existence. So I would like to thank your parents, your physical, biological parents, and their parents. Since it is Thanksgiving, thanks be to them.
Yes. Yes.
First of all, thanks be to them. And thankful to yourself because you're in a position where you are comfortable. And thanks be to whoever is helping you, whoever is contributing towards your sustainability or your happiness or contributing to your growth. Thanks to those people.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thanks. Yeah. So I'd like to say thanks to those people. And if you want to wrap it up, we can wrap this video.
Sure.
And you can be with your friends, because I know your friends are probably wanting to.
Yeah.
They don't know how to participate in the video. So.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I think that, science in that way is obviously vital in that way. And I think that the beautiful perspective of science is appreciating life, right? So if you take it, and you could say it's poetic, but there's more to it. And I think that there would be a lot to hear from scientists who aren't even particularly into poetry, so to speak, on that topic. It's very, very serious and personal thing that you could even assert also in that way that only them can share, right? Because they've lived that life in that way. And they're the only people that have had those specific experiences. Now, no matter if they believe in God or don't believe in God, which is, I guess, very important in the sense of just important, universally. And I do happen to believe in God, but understanding God's will, that's my point, right? It's not about anything else besides that. But basically, you know, in that way of gratefulness and being able, that's the thing about your highest excitement, right? Is if you understand what's going to increase your gratitude, I'm assuming is a very, there would be a direct, I guess we could say correlation between what would increase your gratefulness and what your highest excitement is, right? That they'd be the same. So if their highest excitement is science, and then you're in that experience, and then you being in that experience as a scientist is providing you with a soulful wisdom, even if it's not through spiritual, you know, instruction and such, you know, and satsang and all these different things. So that's the thing, is that the truth is the truth, and it's all pervasive. It's not somehow missing. And you know, yeah. So that's, and I do have a love for life in all its glory and its details and its anatomy, you know, and its genuses and all these different things. And I think if you understand that, the beauty of it is that the misunderstanding is that science somehow has a negative schema attached to it, that there's a roboticness, right? And the worst possible perspective of it, we could say, on a serious level, is that if you go into science, the field of science, that somehow you're going to become less human and more robotic, which is obviously extremely offensive, you know, but also ignorant, you know, in that way. And I think that, you know, that's the thing about being human. So we have to understand, what does human mean? If you look at the word human, hue means color, right? So it means the being or man of color. And in this way, also going with a poetic analogy, it's the understanding of what does that mean? So colorful in the way of all of the life, right? Colorful, right? And so us being experiencers of life, right? And science has that good perspective and balance in it of it's inevitable that you're going to being part of life, that you're going to experience other life. So knowing that's true, and then we could say, being the dominant species, we, you know, have to be at peace with that.
Joe?
1 second, Leonard.
Joe?
And also,
Okay.
1 second, Leonard. And then also be at peace with us being in a place of when to take our hands off, right, of life that's other, so to speak, right? And that's the whole thing for, especially we could say, for ethics in science, right? That all of that is us, and no one is doing that, making us do that. It's all free will. And being at that, like with my Dharma, is providing the proper perspective. So the proper perspective being that for a scientist in that way, and it's really not just for scientists, if you think about that, that you're an individual, and sure, certain individuals are going to have more, are going to have a bigger opportunities in front of them than other individuals. And something that I will make a video about is my perspective on, I guess, the proper use of resources, and a foundational implications and applications video, which really has to do with opportunities for growth being the number one amendment, right? So in North America, we have something called the amendments in the governmental systems. And the, what's that called? First one being what I would call opportunities for growth. So opportunities for growth, and then everyone having that that in their life, basically, right? Opportunities for growth. And then obviously, then what you have is you have a more balanced foundation, right? For everybody, right? Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Leonard.
So I was asking, did you put the link in the comments? The link for this on the YouTube comment.
For what in particular?
The link for the StreamYard if anyone wants to join.
The link
on
in
the
the
comments like before.
Uh,
Yeah, the link. Remember you commented the link before.
Let me see. If we do invite, we will copy it, and then we will go.
Paste it in the comments.
Then we will go to. Wait. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Where is that? There you are. Okay. So here you go. It is. There's the link in the right here. Okay, Leonard, in the
comments.
There you go. You see it?
Okay. All right. So we can wrap it up now because your people are waiting. Your people are waiting for you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
So
if there's anything,
we will continue. We will try set up another one where Patrick can come because I think this thing was basically to involve him because of his interest in science and try and get his brother to also attend or to join us because his brother is also very much interested in science, the study of anatomy and psychology. So interest, yeah, that's why I asked for this. So next time we will try and get them to join. So when they're online, I will let you know.
For sure.
And then also they can let me know when in advance which day they're available, what time, so that they can join and they can comment. And hopefully we'll get more viewers also because I see we don't even have one viewer.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get more viewers. Yeah. I shared it with my viewers. Hopefully it gets popular.
And I think let's also schedule like in advance, maybe 2 days.
Sure.
Maybe we can schedule something 2
and then
days in advance.
We'll be able to prepare for it.
Then we can just see who can join. We get all of our ducks in a row. Like you get your StreamYard, you get your StreamYard link to your YouTube. Then we know that everything's ready. Then we'll use StreamYard and it will also be available on YouTube. Take the YouTube link and I'll share it with them. I'll share with them and they can go onto the YouTube and then click your copied link like you copied now in the comments. Your copied link, they can click on it and they can join us. And they can also comment. If they feel like commenting on YouTube, they can put comments as well.
Yeah. Anyway,
right,
so the main point that I want to do, I guess, to wrap up in this is obviously, like I said, gratefulness, but also the, proper perspective is generally, obviously, but a positive outlook of science, genuinely, right, for ordinary human beings, I guess would be the aim, right, in the video through the insights that I gave. So shifting that perspective of it into a more balanced, equilibrious place, so to speak, to use a scientific word. And I think that people be more amicable with science, meaning in a more friendly manner, in that way, generally speaking, obviously. And, if you think of like those wonderful places for everybody, like museums, or not museums. Yes, no. What are those called? Museums. Are those museums? Yes. Museums where you have...
you can view fossils and stuff.
Yeah, and there's certain things that are for kids, but they're really for everybody. And I think of like certain people that whether they were repressed earlier in life or not, that you can, as an adult, can be very healing and also and positive. Like if you go to the museums and it has like a kid-friendly section, and then you can do experiments, and there's certain things on the wall that revealing. Yeah, come on in. I'm almost done, anyways. I'll be with you. We're almost done. Okay. Where you can do experiments with different things. Yeah, go ahead. That are based in science, right? And then basically, you're understanding that on a personal level, right? So if you go into the repression, if someone didn't have those opportunities for growth when they were younger, and they weren't presented to them, right? Which is why that should be the First Amendment. And then basically, you're still having that excitement in you there, right? So then if I pray that the adults, whether they're alone or how old they are, whether they have people or don't, that they could take advantage of that opportunity, right? And that being not hesitate to do that, right? Because you deserve to be happy and not suffer needlessly, right? We all do. And then basically, yeah, there's a very personal, experience in that way of in that hypothetical situation, which I bet isn't and hasn't been hypothetical. Where people really, it's a, to be able for a grown adult to be able to conduct their own scientific experiments and for themselves on a personal level is kind of like, is wonderful, in that way. And, whether there's nothing else outside of that doesn't matter at all, one drop at all, right? Because you matter, right? And you being part of life, and then not shying away from that fact. And then what is the highest excitement then? And you being in that place of trust, right? So you being in the place of trust allows you to surrender that fear of making the choices that are meant for you, right? And only you, so to speak, right? And then basically, that's the mechanism of the universe, right? And that's a science. That's like physics, right? So that the physics of following your highest excitement, right? So yeah.
So
anyway,
Joe,
yeah.
I could give you one more example of observational science. Just one example. So my Greek ancestors were told, to know God, you must observe creation, right? To know the Creator, you must observe creation. But that is exactly what they did. The Greek philosophers actually, the Greek philosophers actually observed creation, right? So they observed human beings, they observed animals also. They observed everything, ecosystems, humans, from predators to prey. They observed everything, right? And after they observed it, they said, let us get a name fitting for the Creator. Since we have observed creation, let's get a name that is fitting for the Creator of this creation. So they came up with the name chaos. But this chaos with a K. So when they looked at creation, they noticed chaos. Now chaos being a state of disorder, nothing that's in order, nothing that's in basically, yeah, nothing that's ordered, nothing in order, everything is just chaotic. So they said, okay, this is chaos, right? They noticed chaos. So they said, let's give the Creator the same name, but we will use the letter K instead of C. So when they looked at creation, they saw C, chaos. And the Creator's name is with a K. K-H-A-O-S, chaos.
Yes.
That's the name of the creator of this creation. So
Well,
that's just one example of
So thanks for bringing.
observational science.
Yes, thanks for bringing that up. My point of this is that if you
Alright.
understand on a universal level, or we could say cosmically, and this is cosmology, or what's that called? The astrophysics or astrology or ontology, but no, it's astrophysics. But basically, if you understand that chaos is a very real phenomenon of the physical universe, and then you understand that science is a very real and necessary, should be guiltless phenomenon of intelligent life within that potential for chaos. Right? So we can end with that. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Dr. Joe Vertino here, Joe H. Vertino on Facebook. And I'm a spiritual teacher, author, musician, Reiki master, healer, Usui, and my friend Leonard. I'll let you wrap up, and then you can put the music on if you want to, and we can end the video.
Hello, is that your friend?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully she can be your wife or something, you know?
Oh, my friend Eileen? She's over there.
Yeah, she can be your wife. Why not?
No.
Why not? Hello? Marry this man, this good man. Share your life with this man. Let him share his life with you. I'm playing Cupid here.
Yes.
I'm
All right,
playing Cupid here, Mr. Joe. I'm playing Cupid here.
Yes.
That's one thing you must know about us Greeks. One thing you have to know about us Greeks. We play Cupid too. Remember, Cupid is our invention. There's no real Cupid. So we gotta be Cupid. Right, Joe? We gotta be Cupid. You must know that about us. Tolerate us, understand us like we understand you. So that's it, Joe.
Yeah,
I think you summarized it. I think you summarized it quite good. You summarized it quite good.
Thank you.
And let's hope that your interest now in science will help you on your search.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. Anyone who sees this, feel free to watch, share, and subscribe. Joe Vertino on YouTube, Joseph Vertino on YouTube, and my friend Leonard at Academic Honesty vs. Plagiarism on YouTube. And yes.
Let me play the song. Let's
Yeah.
play the song. See there, you got your wife already. Well done. Here's your wife there. Here's a song. Song is coming. Can you hear the song? Is it playing?
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Can you hear the song?
Thank you. Yes. All right. Bye,
There's
everybody.
a song there.
It's okay, Leonard.
Press the button right now.
Okay.
Okay, end it, Joe. You can end it.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Love you.
Right.
Much love.
Peace.